Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fringe Coverage. This podcast profiles the stories, swings, and stars of the LPGA Tour. And whether you're new to women's golf or a longtime fan, hopefully this podcast helps you develop your own rooting interest in women's professional golf. And Tom, the wait is over. We are finally here. It's the first official tournament of the 2026 season. How are you? How fired up are you right now?
We're back, man. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I feel like you and I haven't done a solo podcast recording in a while, so I don't even know what we're going to do here, but looking forward to it.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Tom and I have been doing quite a few interviews. We released Justin Ray interview last week and Big Randy from No Laying Up the week before that. We have a very special interview that's going to be tacked on at the end of this episode, and we've got quite a few lined up. So for those of you who want to hear from players and you're sick of hearing from me and Tom, you're getting your wish in 2026. And now is probably as good a time as ever give you an idea of today's episode, especially knowing who we're interviewing. So Tom and I are going to do a full season preview for the 2026 season, just doing a reset for everybody. We're not going to go too deep on anything, but what are the tournaments that matter? What does the schedule look like? What's new this year? And some questions that we hope get answered this year from a player storyline perspective. And then, ladies and gentlemen, stick around for the end. I can't believe I actually get to say this out loud. At the end of this episode, we are going to feature an interview with the one and only Charley Hull. Yep, you heard it. We got our shot. Tom, I'm sure you have plenty of things you want to make fun of me about how much I've fanned out over Charley over a long time, but we were able to catch up with Charley. She's in Florida this week for the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament, and she graciously gave us about 15, 20 minutes of her time while she was on the road to go do some TGL stuff, actually. So, Tom, how did you think the interview go? Obviously, we're going to holster it for the end, but anything you want to share at the outset about that interview?
Well, I like that you didn't wear a hat this time. I thought that was very professional of you. You combed your hair. You looked very nice, showered. I have to imagine you were a little bit nervous. I mean, so you started this podcast when? July?
Last summer, yeah.
Yeah, sometime last summer. And the impetus for this podcast was you love Charley Hull. You like the LPGA. You're trying to learn more about it. And then 6 months later, you're interviewing her. I mean, truly, Mark, I don't know where we go from here. I think that, we peaked, right? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I for sure peaked. I told my wife this morning, I'm like, what do I do from here? I mean, that if you had told me 6 months ago when we started this that I was going to be interviewing anybody, much less my favorite professional golfer, I would have thought you were crazy. But truly, that is a testament, right, to the family nature of the LPGA and the willingness that the players, the agents, the administrators, the media surrounding it have to help bolster this sport, which certainly needs added attention. Could not be more appreciative of Charley's time. She was uniquely Charley in our interview. You guys are going to get a real taste of who Charley Hull is, and I'm so excited for you guys to stick. So make sure you stick around and don't fast forward, because Tom and I have some fun things we're going to get through today, including a draft. So
and I feel like Charley's name might come up once or twice on this episode.
Yeah, certainly with a season preview. We're going to have a lot to cover in Charley. I find a way to work in Charley any episode. I would, you know what, that'd be a fun thing to go back and listen to. We're just about 30 episodes into this. I'd be curious how many episodes don't mention Charley.
Right.
Well, let's get to it, man. We got a lot to cover today, so we're going to do a bit of a reset here. Let's start with the thing I think most people care about is, okay, who's good? Who's our top 10 right now? So as a reminder, we started this podcast mid-season last year, so we haven't done a start of the season, January, look ahead of the entire season preview. So we thought we'd start with the obvious list of who is the top 10. And remember, we go off the Rolex rankings, which is the official world golf rankings for the women. It goes incredibly deep in terms of the 400, 500, 600 players on it. And it is a rolling 2-year average. It's weighted. There's a heavier weight put on the more recent tournaments. So obviously, if you've been playing well recently, you're making your way higher in this. But without further ado, here is your Rolex top 10 as of today, January 26th. Number one player in the world, another person we're going to mention a lot today and in future episodes, Gino Titicun. Gino is coming off of a 3-win season where she capped it off for the second straight year with a win at the CME Group Tour Championship season-ending finale event. Walked home with another $4 million check. Gino is from Thailand. She is an absolute killer. I think we still have all of her best golf ahead of us, which is nuts. But that is who is by far outpacing the rest of the players in terms of their play. She is who everyone is chasing, and no one is close to her right now in terms of the rankings. If anyone's going to make a run at that number one ranking, Gino has put some distance between them and the chasers right now. Following in second place, arguably one of the most famous golfers in the world, certainly the most famous golfer in the United States, Nelly Korda. Number 3, Minjee Lee from Australia. Number 4, Miyu Yamashita from Japan had her Rookie of the Year campaign last year. So really curious to see how her sophomore season comes out. Number 5,
one of the things about Miyu Yamashita, so she's played 57 events over the past, then that would be over the past 2 years, correct?
It's 2 plus. She had some exemptions, yeah.
She has, 10 more than anybody else in the top 10? I mean, just getting out there and grinding. She's wanting to play as much as you can, dialing in your game. That's great to see.
She's using Major League Baseball. She's your innings eater for sure. She'll go get you some starts for sure.
Long reliever, yeah.
For sure. Great call out. Number 5, the aforementioned Charley Hull. As a reminder, we started this pod 6 months ago, and she was 20th in the world. So she did work to get herself to number 5. Number 6, walking, living, playing Hall of Famer Lydia Ko from New Zealand. Number 7, Running Yin from China. Really hoping for a more solid bounce back here from running this year. Number 8, Hyoju Kim from Korea. Number 9, our second Japanese player, Mao Saigo, the winner of the first major last year, the Chevron. And rounding out the top 10, Saeyoung Kim from Korea, who had a really nice second half of the season. And just nipping at their heels at number 11, because I always like to fit in her name, Lottie Wode. For those who don't know who Lottie Wode is, you will. And Lottie was not on the tour as of the time this podcast started last year. Not on the tour, period. By the end of it, she was number 11 in the world. She's not coming. She's here, folks. So that is your Rolex Top 10. Tom, before we dive into the next set of things, anything just jump out at you at that list of players, of people you're looking for big things from this year?
Well, as we mentioned a few times, there's only one American player on this top 10. It's Nelly.
Yeah.
And as we'll talk about later on in the season where we have the Solheim Cup, there's only one American, and the only British players in the top 10, Charlie and Lottie's a number 11. So we're talking about outside of America and Europe. This is definitely an international sport. The rest of them all come from Asia. So yeah, the fan base is worldwide, and that's always a good thing. I think you get to learn about different names, different cultures, and I think that's probably why this sport is more popular international than a lot of other sports that we ingest here in America.
For sure. I mean, there's 2 Korean players in the top 10, and that's a low number for them. The Koreans have had is upwards of 5 or 6 at any given time, and the Japanese contingent is, I think, going to make a push. I wouldn't be surprised to see more than 2 Japanese players in the top 10 by the end of this season, based on current form as we head into the season.
Yeah.
So, Tom, we're coming off a year where we had a record 29 unique winners, including 11 first-time winners. It was a year where we won't dive in too much here because it's been well documented. There was a lot of parity, and we learned a lot of new storylines, a lot of new names. It helped tee up the 2026 season real well to see hopefully where the cream rises. I would love to see less winners this year. I don't know about you, Tom, but I'd love to see a couple players lift and separate this year. And ultimately, let's set the tone for everybody for what the season looks like. Because unlike baseball, football, where you're playing towards that World Series, that Super Bowl, that one end of season event, golf is different in the sense that you have to peak multiple times throughout the course of the year. There are 5 majors in the golf season, plus the CME Group Tour Championship at the end of the season. So there's 6 unique tournaments that are the biggest of the year, plus all the tournaments they play week to week. So really interesting how golfers go about setting their schedules, how they work themselves up in terms of getting in good shape and then maintaining for a sustained amount of times. So as a reminder, that CME Group Tour Championship is at the end of the season in November at Tiburon in Florida, and the top 60 players in the race to CME will make it there. And this will be that one confusing piece. There are 2 ranking systems. There's the Rolex rankings, which we mentioned are the top 10 or the top players in the world. the CME, race to the CME points are just for this season we're about to start. So as we sit here right now, everybody has 0 points for the 2026 race to the CME. Then each tournament, there is a weighting to, if you get first, second, third, fourth, fifth through 10th place, there are points that get assigned with that. And over the course of the season, you start accumulating those points. And at the end of the season, the top 60 players with the most points make their way to the Tour Championship, where they all start straight up, no strokes, no advantage. They all get into the final field, and they're all playing for a total $11 million purse, $4 million first place prize. Definitely something that they're all got their eyes on from a money perspective, and that's on top of the 5 majors that we've got. So let's look at those 2026 major, Toms. Why don't you walk us through where we're going this year?
So, as you mentioned, we do have 5 majors in the LPGA as a versus the 4 in the PGA. So the first one we got is the Chevron Championship at Memorial Park Golf Course in Houston. That is a new venue.
Yeah.
We are looking, I personally don't know what this venue looks like. I'm sure you have a little bit more insight on it as I do, but from all the interviews I've seen and all the articles I've read, it looks like the LPGA is really excited about this new course. So that's always good that it could kind of bring more eyes to the product. Number 2 is the U.S. Women's Open at Riviera Country Club in L.A. Mark, we're going,
Let's
right?
go,
I think we have to go.
We will.
Right up the 5 from us. We got the KPMG Women's PGA Championship at Hazeltine National Golf Club in Minnesota, followed by the Amundi Evian Championship in France, and then the AIG Women's Open in Royal Lytham at St. Anne's Golf Club in England.
Man, that is a lineup. So for those of you that don't know, the Evian is the only one of those 4 that is in the same venue as last year. It stays there every year. Usually the Chevron is a stationary tournament as well, but this is a big news this year that they moved out of the Woodlands, the course of Carlton Woods. They had been there after they moved it out of Palm Springs. Chevron, as the title sponsor, wanted to move it closer to Texas, where their headquarters is. This move to Memorial Park is huge for them because it is more Houston proper in terms of population and attention, as opposed to a private area like the Woodlands was. Memorial Park it has been and is a PGA Tour venue, so again, a place that people are going to be familiar with, which is always good to say for the LPGA to get exposure to those courses. U.S. Women's Open at Riv. Well, and just so you guys know, kind of, we talked about the schedule a little bit. The Chevron is in April, so that is your first major of the year. That's the first time you're peaking as you're looking at how you are crafting your schedule. The Chevron will be the first time you really want to get yourself in peak condition. And then from there, the U.S. Women's Open, I believe, is the first weekend in June at Riviera and Pacific Palisades. Yet another PGA Tour venue. The Genesis has played there, been there for a long time. A Tiger Woods favorite in terms of courses out there. It's just up the road for Tom and I. We will be there. The KPMG Women's PGA at Hazeltine in Minnesota. That is only 3 weeks after the U.S. Women's Open. So this is where we get into crazy major stretch. So early June, U.S. Open. Late June, KPMG Women's PGA. And then there is no tournament between that and the next major, which is the Evian. Now, there's a week gap in between them. So June 25th is a women's PGA. They have an off week, and then they go to the Evian on July 9th. So talk about peaking. You've got 2 majors in 3 weeks. And then there is a 1 week break. Then they go play the Women's Scottish, which is a regular season event. And then they do the AIG Women's Open at the end of July. So this is not 5 majors spread across 11 months. This is 5 majors spread across about 2.5 months. So if you, again, back to how these ladies are going about their schedules, that's a lot of serious golf in a short amount of time. If you're not playing your best golf, then you are missing your opportunities.
I assume that a lot of this is driven by weather. You don't want it to be too hot. You don't want any chances of rainouts. But I mean, compacting all these majors in such a short amount of time is such an interesting choice. I understand, we talked about this with Charlie, where you kind of want to spread out your calendar where it's a grind. You don't necessarily want to play every single event every single weekend because it's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You do need the time to recuperate. I would be very interested to know if they were to spread this out, how that would affect. I mean, obviously, all the top players are playing in all of these events. They probably need to play like a tune-up round in between if possible. Mm-hmm. They're playing nonstop golf as is, but just the fact that these events mean so much every season that they can't take any time off and they're pretty much just grinding it for 3 months out of the year harder than any other one, and likely limiting their time off. It's ugh.
And like you said, there's 5 majors, right? That's one more than the men. For context, the men start their majors in April with the Masters, and then I believe they've got the PGA in May, the U.S. Open in June, and the British Open in July. So 4 majors in 4 different months. It's probably about 3.5 months if you actually do the math on when the Masters is versus when the final British Open is, or the Open as they call it. 5 majors in what seems to be about that time span or even less seems aggressive. To your point, I do think it has a lot to do with course conditioning and weather, of when are those courses going to be at their peaks. And the AIG Women's Open over in England that is the right time for them to do that. And again, Houston, the Chevron, ain't nobody want to play golf in Houston in August, right? And then back to the CMA Group Tour Championship is, all right, you're done with your 5 majors in July, and the Tour Championship is in November. Like, what are we doing? And I know we won't get into scheduling rants here, but you can imagine it must be hard to ramp up a second time, go do a second Asian swing, and then come home for the Tour Championship 3, 4, 5 months removed from your last major of the year. Like, it's not perfect, and I hope that one of the things that the LPGA as a whole is looking at is shortening the season, as opposed to starting in January, going through November. 11. There's no sport that needs to run 11 months. Certainly not a sport who doesn't get all the eyeballs it deserves. Let's really focus our time and energy. I would love a March through October. Probably sounds a little bit more reasonable to me. How do you feel?
I would love to see what the attendance is for the event right after the AIG, where the women go, I just played 3 months of really high intense golf. I need a break. And I assume that the sponsors are also not really champing at the bit to get that specific tour, because probably aren't a lot of eyes on that one, because there probably aren't a lot of attendees, I would imagine.
Especially with the crazy travel we've documented of, like, okay, you're ending your season out at or you're ending the major season at Royal Lytham over in England, and the next tournament is 2 weeks later in Portland, Oregon. So, like, you're definitely taking a week off anyways because the LPGA is giving you that. You travel back, but do you really then want to go play in Portland and then go to Alberta? Like, it picks up right again. You're right. I do think you kind of have to pick your spots as a tournament sponsor, knowing, like, hey, if I'm sponsoring this tournament and it's around a major season, they may not play in it because we're just gassing them. It's a very interesting problem to have with that many events, and it's tough because they don't want to turn away tournaments and certainly tournament sponsors, but 11 months it just seems like too much. So we documented this towards the end of last year. There are some new changes to the 2026 season, both from a schedule perspective and from a broadcast enhancements perspective. There are 2 new events this year on the calendar. The Fortinet Founders Cup. The Founders has existed in the past, but it is a new sponsor. It's moved venues, and the Aramco Championship, which is going to be one of, if not the largest purse outside of majors this year, that the players are very excited about. But really, the big news that came out was the broadcast enhancements, where we're going to have 31 events in 12 countries, 13 U.S. states, and what the LPGA's partners, TrackMan and FM and Golf Channel, agreed that every tournament round would be live broadcast on Golf Channel or its affiliates. First time in the LPGA's history that's been true. We've had tape delays, we've had non-coverage. Every round's going to be covered. That's a huge deal. And on top of that, they're adding cameras, drone footage, mics, walk and talks with caddies and players is what I've heard. Caddies will be an interesting thing for I love hearing caddy conversations. So those are some of the things to look for as a fan. If you have been watching the LPGA, keep an eye on whether the broadcast looks different, because hopefully it does. If they're doing their job right, it does. And then, Tom, we've been mentioning a lot, the women's game has seen an increase in purses in recent history, especially. This year, the total prize fund across all of the events it totals $132 million, again, for the entire season. To put that in perspective, that is a 90% increase of the total purse fund from 2021. 5 years, it has increased 90%. So, first off, kudos to the sponsors.
Shout out to the sponsors.
Right? Making that possible. Because you know what? You pull at that thread, the bigger the purses, the more attention on it, the more young women start looking at golf as a viable sports path. If they're looking at the WNBA, if they're looking at professional soccer, golf is putting itself on the same playing level of, hey, there's money to be made here. There is a career here. And that just starts building your pipeline of the exciting players and storylines that ultimately are going to make this build on itself and become an even larger thing than it is today while we're covering it.
Mark, I just went to a professional volleyball game on Friday, a women's professional volleyball game. San Diego has a team.
Outdoor or
and
indoor?
Indoor.
Indoor.
The SDSU basketball arena. And just watching all these, the entirety of the fan base is made up of young girls who play volleyball, right? Like they would, the PA announcer would give shout outs to the different schools and the different teams. And it's really fun watching all these young fans grown and they get to come out and watch the best of the best. I mean, these women are just insane at volleyball. And it would be the same thing if you went out and watched an LPGA event. So, I highly recommend going out and watching some live sports and tuning in on TV to check it out. It's a lot of fun.
For sure. Well, on that line, that's a perfect segue, Tom. We talk about young players. We talk about player storylines. There are some top of the pile questions that everyone's asking as we go into this year about some of those top 10 players we mentioned. Here's some of the things I'm interested in. Tom, feel free to add to this list or jump in if you want to put a finer point on these. But first one is a question for you. As you look at the Rolex rankings, not just the top 10, who do you see making the biggest climb in the Rolex rankings by year end? This could be someone that's currently outside the top 50 that you're just bullish on, that's really going to make a charge, or just someone that's, hey, they might be a 14th in the world, but you think they're going to be threatening number one by the end of the year. Who's got your eye?
See, it was kind of anticlimactic because I was looking at Lottie Woe to do that. And I know, jumping from 11 to probably not one, but maybe into the top 3, possibly top 5. That's more significant to me than going from like 100 to 50th, right?
Sure.
To be able to do that would be insane. So that's kind of where I'm looking for. We were having a draft later on. I don't want to, show all my cards just yet, but definitely somebody that I'm looking to see to climb the leaderboard. How about you? Anybody in mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the outside the top. I would say outside the top 40, but she is number 40 in the world currently. Austin Kim. I think Austin is primed. I think she has got her schedule figured out. I think she is. I think she's going to be on the LPGA for a long time. Austin bombs the ball, and I think that immediately we've learned on both tours, if you have that type of distance, that means you're hitting shorter clubs into greens. Austin is going to be in a lot of positions to succeed, and if her short game continues to improve, I really like Austin Kim's chance. I think Austin's going to be a stalwart on the U.S. Solheim Cup team for years to come. I think this is Austin's coming out party year, and I could see her sniffing top 15 by end of year if she has the year that certainly her game pretends to be able to do. So Austin Kim's who I'm looking at there.
I got a question for you, Mark. How many wins will the winningest player on tour have this season? Like, is somebody going to hit 5?
Okay, I think the number is probably 4.5 if we're setting a line. I would take I think my number is 4. Look, Nelly won 7 times 2 years ago, and that was outrageous. Conversely, Gino won 3 times last year, and that excludes 4 putting on the final green at Kroger, which would have been her 4th win, having Grace Kinn win the Evian. Like, she was real close to 5 wins, so I think my number's 4. And I think it's Gino, by the way.
Okay, that's going to be my follow-up. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think 4.5 is a good line to set.
Who do you think? Are you taking the over or the under?
I was going to take the over. Gino with the over. Peaking at the right time. Starting the season off right. Yeah, she might be able to sniff 7.
Are you taking Gino?
I'm taking Gino.
All right.
Yeah.
I just think it's good for the sport. And let's stay on Gino for a second. I think you know where I'm going next. There's one big question when it involves the number 1 player in the world in terms of things still to prove. She's the number 1 player in the world for the 2nd time, coming off a year. She won Player of the Year, won 3 times, 2nd straight tour championship. Gino still does not have a major. And Gino's young. She's 22.
At 22, no majors. Can't believe it.
She might be 23 by the time the season starts. I don't know when Gino's birthday is, but I think she turns 23 this year. Look, tons of time to play golf, but the women's game, their longevity is very different. Does Gino win a major this year, Tom?
Yeah, I would say so. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know how her game stacks up to Hazeltine. I don't, I can't speak on that. But the fact that she plays the most consistent golf year in, year out, I would say that yes, she's probably primed and ready to win a major this season.
I think Gino wins 2 majors this year.
Whoa, okay.
I think Gino's going to win the Chevron, and I think Gino's going to win the Evian.
Wow.
Remember, the Evian she had. She was boat racing that field for most of the day, and then Grace went nuts, right?
I think we need to take all of your knowledge and like make some money off this. We can talk about that off air. We need to like.
You're gonna call FanDuel after this?
Exactly.
No free
you
ads.
You even know what you're
No
talking about. You got me sold.
I mean, look, just last year alone, Gino played good everywhere, but certainly in those majors, she's been a competitor, and I think she was second place in the Chevron maybe the year prior or 2 years prior. So I think it's time. At the end of this year, if Gino doesn't have a major, I think the narrative will start to shift on her. She's young enough and she's still hot enough in terms of wins that right now, no, to your point, she's 22. She's going to win one. At some point, you stop saying she's going to win one. And right, it's the
Phil Mickelson. It's the Connor McDavid where, you're the best player in the world and you don't have the prize.
Like, it's a weird, when you always say like the best player not to have won a major, usually that's someone who's been in the game a really long time. I think Gino's without question the best player never to have won a major. She just happens to be very young in her career, but she is head and shoulders above everybody else. She set the all-time scoring record last year, and Nelly was second to her, but Nelly has not been nipping at her heels by any stretch. Which leads me to my next question, Tom. How many wins for Nelly this year?
So she went for 7 wins in 2024 and then followed it up with a 0 in 2025.
Little volatile, yeah.
I have to imagine that things will kind of settle. Yeah. She played very well last season.
Yeah.
Except everybody else did as well. So I would say that she's probably going to get 3 this season. If she can keep up her current play, I think that she's got a shot at 3.
I'm hovering around the same number. I was waffling between 2 and 3. I just wonder if there's any scar tissue from a year of not winning. It's amazing that you can get shade thrown at you. How quickly we forget the 7-win season, right? And it's to your point, she didn't play bad golf last year. If I'm already giving Gino 2 majors, like there's only so many wins to throw out there. And I know we're not talking majors specifically for Nelly right now, but I think I'm gonna have to be conservative with how many wins I dish out on this episode. So I'm gonna go with 2.
Everyone gets the over. 2? Okay.
Yeah. And
is that the second most on tour?
No. I think we're gonna have at least. I think we'll have at least 3 people win 3 times or more.
Fantastic. Okay.
I don't have those names lined up.
A big departure from last season where we had 29 new winners. Now we're talking about cream rising.
Because besides Gino, was Miyu the only person that won twice?
I think that's correct.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, folks, buckle up for a year where you're going to have someone who wins more than once. Last year will not be repeated. I'm comfortable with. If you want to go to the FanDuel, Tom, let's take that bet to the bank. I'm feeling pretty good about not having 29 unique winners.
All right, Mark. If you could have one player win a major, who would it be? Now, this is not what you think is going to happen. This is who you want in your soul. What's best for the ratings or the tour, what you want.
So I'm picking one player for one specific major?
Sure.
Okay. I'm of 2 minds here. The major is either the AIG Women's Open at Royal Lytham or the Chevron. I'll go with the Chevron first. Nominee number 1 is Nelly winning Chevron. It's starting the season. Like, if there's one thing that's going to make me amped immediately, it's like, she's back based on the conversation we just had. Just the remember me moment. How fired up are you for the next 4 majors? If Gino doesn't win it, Nelly does. Like, in Texas, where Nelly has a huge following, like, I think from like just an overall fandom, myself included, that one's going to I don't think anything's going to get me more fired up to start the year.
If you have Nelly coming out winning number 1, then you go, cool, monkeys off her back, let's get moving.
Go.
And if you have Gino coming out, one of two narratives are going to take place. So if Gino wins the first one, you're going to go, is Gino going 5 for 5 this season?
yeah.
Or if Gino loses it, it's just going to be like, oh, now the pressure's getting ramped up because now pressure's on Gino because she hasn't won this one. And then if she doesn't fare well at the next one, it's just a snowball and people are going to start getting on her.
Yep. Now, second nominee, you mentioned kind of, okay, forget best for ratings, just me. I mean, you're going to know, it's got to be Charley at Royal Lytham, right? I mean, if there's a major I want Charley to win, it's in England, right? She has an amazing following out there. If you've ever watched footage of that tournament, you look at her crowd versus everybody else, it's the Tiger effect. Everyone is following Charley there. A nation is pulling for her there. And she has been just painstakingly close the last couple years. Royal Porthcawl, she was... Oh, I don't know if you watched it yet, but the LPGA put together a cinematic recap of Miu's win and Charley's chase the final Sunday. Super well done to that team who was doing it. But I forgot how much Charley got in the mix. She started the day way far back, but it was just one of those classic chase days. Charley winning at AIG is probably... I don't care what year it happens. That's going to be the biggest moment for her. I would love for it to happen this year while she's still... Charley's not getting any younger, but she's been on tour for 10 plus years already. She's only 29 years old, which is wild. But I think she just seems to be peaking, and this seems to be a year that could line up really well for her. Is there anyone on that list that you have that you want to see happen that we haven't rattled off?
I mean, to your point, watching Lottie Woad win at the AIG would be kind of crazy, like right? Kind of like, I'm here and I'm here to stay.
Sign me up for that.
Put my name on. Yeah, I know you would.
Lottie and Charley in the final group on Sunday with all English fans following them. Yeah, let's go.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to fly out there if that's the case. Okay. Well, we're gonna do a draft here in a little bit. Tom and I are gonna do a fun game of a season-long draft, but there's a couple one-off questions that I know, Tom, you wanted to rattle through. Anything that's sticking out that we haven't covered yet?
No, I mean, we talked about all this stuff already. I mean, one thing that you and I discussed off air that you seem to be upset about. You say that I have a fascination with holes in one. I asked, like, how many aces do you think there will be this season? And that was just, spitballing. And you shot that down so hard. Like, that's a stupid question. And I can't believe you care so much about aces.
Really,
and I
airing out our laundry here, Tom.
Right. Now, I know it's not the best question. I thought we were just, volleying ideas off each other. Why are you so against, so if you see a hole in one on Instagram or something from the LPGA, are you not stopping and watching?
I watch every golf highlight.
You don't find holes in one to be exceptionally fun to watch?
Oh, I never said that. I'm just saying, how many holes in one were there last year, Tom?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my point. It's like this random thing and how many of the people that hit a hole in one won that golf tournament? $10.
I see your point. What?
$10 says zero winners last year had a hole in one. It is super rare. The ones you remember, it was Brooke Matthews to sneak into the CME, right? Like, it's not, very rarely is there a hole in one on way to winning a golf tournament. I mean, I'd be curious how many people that hit a hole in one make the cut versus don't, if they did it on a Thursday or Friday, right? So for me, it's such a non-relevant to the success of a golfer's individual tournament outcome, that whenever you surface it, while I am not disinterested in hole-in-ones, I've never met someone who asks about hole-in-ones every time we talk.
We're cutting all
about
this.
hole-in-ones. Now, for the record, how many hole-in-ones do we have between the two of us?
0.
Correct.
Yeah. So maybe once you get your first hole-in-one, you might think more highly of them. You'll be in an elite club, and you'll feel a little bit more proud of it.
Oh, I mean, it would be an amazing feat for me. It's not something that when I'm setting lines for all the things I want to predict this year, holes in one across the 32 event season, 4 rounds a tournament, like over those rounds with 144 golfers. I mean, I don't know, 4?
I've had this conversation with my wife. She said, if you ever get a hole in one, you better call me before Mark. Because I know you want to call Mark, but you're going to call me first, right? I said, yes, I'll call you first.
She's also going to hang up. She's like, call Mark. I don't care.
I'm busy.
My wife would definitely tell me to call you.
Okay.
Okay. Tom, take us to this draft. Tell the folks what we're going to do today.
Yes. So a couple of years ago, you and I did this fun thing where we would draft PGA players, and depending on how well they did, we would get points on the system that you and I created, and then we had some kind of prize at the end of the season. We kind of did this last year with the LPGA, but it was mid-season, so we weren't really able to do it. So we would just do a head-to-head. So this season, I said, why don't we do a draft where we draft a roster full of players, and we keep these rosters for the whole season. So this is basically a prediction for how the season will go. If your player wins a tournament, you get 10 points. If they top 5, you get 5. We need to kind of settle down on those exact numbers, but this is kind of a way to keep it fun. So we have rooting interests outside of, hey, we both like Nelly, we both like Gino. This makes it a little bit more you versus me, which I think could add a little bit of fun to this.
I like it. And I do think, to your point, we'll put some extra weight on the majors for those points
Absolutely.
to make sure you pick those people. But I like the idea of projecting out over the course of 11 months, not just each week who's hot. It's like we're saying now who's in our stable for the year. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Team Mark versus Team Tom.
Perfect.
So one of the things that I want, so I figured, you and I would probably go pretty heavy on the top 10.
Sure.
And a way to get out of just that top 10 is that we would put some parameters on that. One of the things I wanted to do was that each of us had to have one rookie on the team.
Love it.
I thought each of us should also have one player that's outside of the top 30.
Outside the top 30. Okay.
And then you and I could draft 5 each from, probably the top 10, top 15. I'm going to throw this out at you. Each team has to also have one EY. What do you think?
I mean, I do like the idea of splitting them up, but
It's not like a Little League draft. You don't get to draft one and you get both of them. This is, you have to draft one. I could draft the other if I wanted.
I'm good with this. And then it just kind of as the chips fall. So, all right, well, let's put some parameters on this. If we each get an EY twin, are they going to be part of the draft? In other words, if you draft Aki in the 3rd round, can I make Chisato my 7th pick?
Absolutely.
I can.
Yeah, if I want to use my first pick to draft a rookie, I can, and then you can wait till your last one.
I mean, I think we're both just going to wait to pick an EY. Like they're
Yes.
the same person right now. Like literally, like statistically, they are very close.
Mark, I was looking at the Rolex rankings. Do you realize that they have now changed her name to Chizzy EY?
I was going to bring this up to you. I did not. I just recently saw it. She's going. They are writing her name as Chizzy EY, which is so sick. I'm on record. I'm all in on the EY twins. They're so fun. Chizzy EY just takes it to a new level now.
Well, see, that's the issue. Now we both want Chizzy.
No.
Okay, good.
So, okay, I have no idea how we're going to play this, but yes, Aki and Chizzy have to make their way onto one of our 2 teams. And just because I take one in one round does not mean you automatically have to take them in that same round.
Correct. Yeah.
And so can we draft our 7 in any order? Like my first pick could be the number 1 player in the world, or it could be my rookie. We're not doing like a rookie round and a top 30 round.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. What else?
So next is we have to figure out who gets to go first. Flipping a coin's kind of boring. Not really. Like you and I can play rock, paper, scissors over Zoom. That's not very fun. So I pose this to you, Mark. I'm going to ask you a question, and if you get this answer right, you can choose if you want to go first or if you want to go second. Now, obviously, we're doing a snake draft, so you would either get the first pick or the second and third, so on. So, okay.
Okay, so you're telling me that just subjectively you have decided on a question that the picking order is dependent on whether I answer it correctly or not, and you just pulled this question out of your ass?
Yes, but I will give you a buffer, okay? Because it's a number. You have to give me a number. And let's
Sure.
say if you can get
Why
this
not?
number within 3, then you're going to win, okay?
You know what? If this was the PGA Tour, I'd be upset because like first pick matters a lot. I'd want Scotty, but like I'm good with first or second pick. So you know what, Tom? Have your fun. Put me on the spot. Let's go.
In true fringe coverage fashion, Mark, I need you to tell me how many Hot 100 number 1 hits did Mariah Carey have in the 90s? So it's plus or minus 3.
How many Hot 100 hits
The Billboard Hot 100
did Mariah have in when?
in the 90s.
In the 90s. Hot 100. Okay. I mean, do you want me to? Let's not make the listeners. We have a Charley Hull interview to get to, so I won't. For sake of that, I won't go song by song. But like, I imagine like earliest we're talking about is Emotions, maybe. And I don't remember when. That's got to be early '90s. God, I don't even know if she had any hits after the '90s. So I would think maybe this spans most of her career hits. She maybe had a few in the 2000s. I would think.
Let's go, honey.
11.
14. You got it.
Yes. 11's my lucky number. I know it's.
Can we stop, bro? 14? That's insane. She had
Fingers
one
only,
every
man.
year. At least one every year. Good on you, Mariah. All right, Mark, you get the first pick.
She's just like
Or
that.
the second. Your call.
I'm a heartbreaker, Tom. Okay, so did you want to talk about the spotlight rule real quick?
Sure. Yeah. So one of the other things that we're going to do is during the majors, you get to spotlight one of your players, meaning you get to double their points. Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned is, so a tournament wins 10 points, top 5 is 5, majors is double that. If you miss a cut in any tournament week, it's -3.
Nice.
If your spotlighted player misses a cut, we're talking -6 here.
Got it.
Now we will still do our thing where we pick a golfer every week. That's not going
Just
to
a
change.
separate head-to-head game of
Exactly,
who's gonna win
yeah.
this week. Okay.
And then we also added a little stipulation where you can drop a player and add a new one after the third major.
Right. So that would be after the KPMG Women's PGA. We'll look at our rosters. If someone's underperforming or hurt or whatever, it's our chance to drop one, pick up one, and we get their points for the remainder of the season.
Yes.
Okay. And okay.
Without further ado, Mark, you're up.
Okay. Give me Gino. I mean, how many wins did I give her already today?
Yeah,
25.
you're way ahead. You already got it.
Are you tracking this, Tom?
Yeah, I'll keep track of it.
All right. Gino Titakun, first overall pick in the 2026 season preview draft.
All right, not a bad choice. So I think we all knew what the top 3 was going to be. So I will take Nelly, and I'm taking Charlie from you. Sorry.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay. That changes things. I want Lottie and give me Aki. Now, I'm going to take my EY twin now.
Okay. So that means I'm taking mine at the very end.
Okay.
I will go Miyu. And then I'm going to take... I'll go Minji Lee.
Nice. You're going to have... Rankings-wise, you now have, what, the second, third, fourth, and fifth ranked players in the world?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I have 3 players. I've got Gino, Lottie, and Aki.
Yes.
I'm going to take the 13th ranked player. Well, give me Angel Yin. And remind me, let's just cover this now. Do you know that Angel top 15 in 4 out of 5 majors?
Wow.
And in that stretch, she only played 1 non-major tournament. She literally played 5 tournaments. 4 of them were majors. And she top 15 in 4 of the 5 of them. I like that for this game if we're doubling the points in majors. So, and then, you know what? Let's give me some stability and take Lydia.
All right. So you have to pick your rookie and somebody outside the top 30.
Correct.
Okay. My rookie is going to be, I'm going Yana Wilson. 19 years old, 2022 U.S. Juniors champ. Yeah, we're going Yana.
Okay.
I'm going Austin Kim. Just to see your face, just for that reason only.
Okay, so she was definitely going to be my pick, and I really shouldn't have revealed that earlier with that top 40 thing. Just to put a finer point on Austin, last year she made 19 out of 25 cuts, 5 top 10s, and made cuts in 4 out of 5 majors, including at second place. Austin is like that's a real nice 6th round draft pick you just picked up.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and then your last one obviously is Chisato.
Yeah.
So I now am
Chizzy.
Sorry, Chizzy. It sounds like someone that was an R&B from the 90s. Okay, so
she's getting a fringy for sure.
So to round out my outside top 30 pick, I'm going to take Yelimi No. Yelimi last year went 14 out of 21 cuts made, 5 top 10s, 3 cuts, and major and 2 top 15s in majors. So I think probably making the crown also boosted her confidence. Remember, Yalimi's the one that got in because Nelly didn't play because she was hurt. I think Yalimi proved herself that she belonged on the biggest stage, and I think is ready for another breakout. She was my backup if you took Austin, so I had that one ready. And then rookies, I've got 3 on my short list that I'm debating between Riley Smythe, Melanie Green, and Mimi Rhodes. Riley's one of the longest players on the Epson Tour. Melanie was first in points on the Epson Tour, and Mimi won 3 times on the LET last year. So Mimi kind of has some competitive reps that the other two don't because she's been playing on the Ladies European Tour. I'm going to go with Riley Smythe, but I just think her game's gonna translate well. So give me Riley.
Awesome. Then I will finalize my roster with Chizzy. So I got Nelly, Charlie, Miyu, Minji, Yana Wilson, Austin Kim, and Chizzy Ely. And you have Gino, Lottie, Akie, Angel Yin, Lydia Ko, Yalimi No, and Riley Smythe.
You sure look good on paper. I'm gonna tell you that. If we're getting those fantasy football Yahoo grades afterwards, I think you'd be getting a A-, and I'd be getting a C+.
The kiss of death. Every time I get one of those, I go, "Oh, D+. That's what I'm looking for."
You hurt me a little bit with that. I was hoping to get both Angel and Austin. I thought that might have separated me, but
we can do trades if you want. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, that'll be interesting. All right, Tom. I think there's one piece we haven't discussed here. Stakes.
What's that? Stakes.
What are we playing for?
So we discussed this a little bit off air. We still haven't really nailed down exactly what we're going to do. I still owe you a round from the last time I lost to you. We still have to get that on the books. It is tough for both of us to get out together.
Which time are you talking about that you lost to me?
Oh, there's just so many. I don't think I beat you at anything yet during the Fringe coverage lifespan. We talked about getting each other like a new club or possibly golf merch or something. We're running out of ideas, basically. So if anybody has any suggestions, send us an email at fringecoverage@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to bet on. I'm game. I'm down for anything. I think it's something golf related, but let's do something fun with it.
I say we do something for the fans. Look, I always say this about, I don't care when purses get I don't care that Nelly Corda won $2 million. I like that it's a big purse, but I don't care that Nelly got richer when she wins. I don't think people care that you and I go treat each other to rounds of golf or get clubs. So I'm like, what's a content-related thing, an embarrassing punishment? We are open to suggestions. Obviously, Tom and I are the end-all, be-all arbiters of your suggestions. But if you want to say, hey, you got to go record a full round on air and post it on YouTube, or you got to do an apology video, you got to wear this in an interview. We're open
karaoke night where you got to go sing Mariah Carey.
Exactly, things of that nature. Friend of the pod, Brandon, I know you're listening. This is your wheelhouse. Let us know. Joel, you too. Come on, I want some ideas. Okay, and we will give those to us within the next week or so, so we will come back on the pod once we have finalized those stakes.
There you go.
All right, so I want to get us to our Charlie interview. We do have our first tournament of the week. For many of you, you're starting to tune back into the LPGA. This Thursday, January 29th, is the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. This is not a full field event. This is quite literally the last 2 years worth of champions. If you won a tournament in the last 2 years, you are invited to play in this tournament. You don't have to. Most people take advantage of this. This is a limited field. I think it's 40-ish players. Maybe I'm not sure if everyone took advantage of their invite. And there's no cut in this, so it's kind of a money grab event. It's a reward for those people that won the last 2 years, and they're playing for one of the smaller purses, $2.1 million total purse, or 2.1 for the winner. Again, it's a money grab, small field, hence why it's not a giant purse. There's also a celebrity component to this, Tom. So it's not just a pro-am on Wednesday. There is a competitive celebrity division. Joe Pavelski from the NHL won this last year. And $500K to that celebrity winner. So kind of a fun thing for those of you that are tuning in to watch. Last year, I mentioned Joe Pavelski won the celebrity division. Alim Kim won the opening event last year. Birdied 3 out of the last 4 to edge out Nelly. People don't remember, Nelly was an Alim Kim torrid finish away from having won the opening event of the year. Imagine how that might have changed her 2025 trajectory.
I got a good question for you, Mark. Yeah. So they had this event last season. So it's the last couple winners. So with Nelly winning 7 times the year before, are there just a lot less players invited?
It's a great question. Yeah.
Wow.
That's really interesting. Well, I wonder if they have any rules in place of they'll roll back an extra number of tournaments if there's multi-year. I doubt it. I bet it straight up. If I win every tournament, I'm the only one playing next year.
Yeah.
Quick watch windows before we do our picks. Thursday, Friday, again, every round is on Golf Channel this year or is live broadcast somewhere. So Pacific time, 8:30 to 11:30 on Golf Channel, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, 12 to 2:30 on Golf Channel. And Sunday, final round coverage starts in the morning on Peacock from 10 to 11 a.m. and then goes on to broadcast for the final 2-hour window of 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, all times Pacific. Tom, with that, I want 2 picks from you. I want the LPGA winner and the celebrity winner.
So I'm endlessly interested in these celebrities that they get to come out to do all this. Obviously, a lot of pro athletes are doing this, some TV stars that I may or may not know. I keep gravitating to Chris Boswell. It was between Ray Allen and Chris Boswell. I don't know why. I've never seen either of them swing a golf club. I just figured professional athlete, currently, a professional athlete, probably good at grinding. He's got the offseason to work on his golf game. I'm going Chris Boswell.
So for those who don't know, Chris Boswell is the kicker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe a little bit pissed off in the offseason. His coach is gone. He's been with Mike Tomlin his whole career. So you're just thinking maybe he's just coming out of the gates fiery?
Yeah, Chris good with those chip shots. He can hit it from 50 yards out.
Oh, perfect.
And then my player, I am going to go with Nasa Hataoka.
Interesting. That would.
I was looking at her to join Team Tom. She's the number 1 on my waiver wire right now.
Got it. Someone you're looking to pick up midseason.
Yeah, scouting.
Form. Okay. I'm going to take Aki Iwai to win the tournament. I think she's going to come out of the gate strong and make my draft look really strong to start the season, and make sure I got the right twin. And then from a celebrity side, Marty Fish. Marty has been on the celebrity pro-am circuit for a while now. He's a retired professional tennis player, for those of you that don't know who Marty Fish is. But he's been playing PGA and LPGA pro-ams for a while. Don't know if he's won this one, but he seems to always be doing stuff. He seems to be a name that I recognize, and I don't follow pro-ams very often. So give me Marty Fish to bring home the hardware. Tom, random note here. There's 42 celebrities that are on the call sheet for this event. Only 3 women. I feel like that's a weird miss for an LPGA celebrity event. Only 42 of the 42 celebrities, only 3 of them are women.
That is, one of them is Annika Sorenstam, right?
Right, which was my other point. I don't know how we feel about Annika playing in the celebrity division, and I'm not sure how they this is a modified format. It's like Stableford, so it's not just straight up strokes. It's hey, you get points for pars, birdies, whatever. I don't want to be playing Stableford with Annika Sorenstam. And again, maybe there's some handicapping that goes into that. It just feels weird that a professional golfer can play in the celebrity division, even if she is retired. Little weird look there.
No, I agree. I thought that was weird too when I first saw it. I said, wait, which am I under the wrong tab here? Why is she on this one? But yeah, no, I could see where somebody would have an issue with that.
And Tom, for our first episode of the year, I'm not going to have you do your end card read here because I want everyone to stick around. We have our Charley Hull interview coming up, but everybody, happy start of the 2026 season. Should be a very entertaining year, and certainly an entertaining first week of the year. But stick around. We've got about 20 minutes left in this episode with none other than Charley Hull. Hope you guys enjoy it. Tommy boy, Happy New Year. Without further ado, here's Charley. All right, everyone. We are now joined by one of the biggest stars of the LPGA Tour. I cannot contain my excitement. She was the subject of this podcast's first ever player deep dive. She's one of the most authentic, interesting, and certainly entertaining athletes to follow, truly in all of professional sports. She is the 5th ranked player in the world. Charley Hull, welcome to Fringe Coverage. How are you today?
I'm all good, thank you. You just caught me from I just had a nice little snooze before I come on the show in the car.
Well, I'm glad you could get the beauty rest before joining us. Hopefully, you've got a decent car ride ahead of you. Maybe you'll get some more sleep after we're done here today.
Yeah, well, I'll have another little nap afternoon tip.
Perfect.
Appreciate you coming on.
We're so fired up to have you here, Charley. And like I said, we started this podcast really to bring attention to the LPGA, and you were always someone that we were hoping to be able to talk to one day, just because of not only your golf, which speaks for itself, but you're so authentically yourself, and you make I think you make such an impact on the tour, and we're excited to talk about some of that today. But let's start here. We know you're on the road. We know you're in Orlando. We've got the first tournament of the year coming up. You had a crazy challenging health year in 2025. Some of the most random, connected and unconnected things I can remember. Maybe walk us through how for the fans that don't know, what your 2025 looked like. And most importantly to us, how you feeling going into 2026?
Well, going to 2025, saying I'm going to break my 5K time of 20, like sub 20 minutes. And I was right there the week before Evian. My trainer said to me, when you get back from Evian, we're going to test it because you've got 19 in you. I said, perfect. I get out to Evian, wasn't feeling very well. I had this like weird virus, ended up fainting on the golf course, like collapsing. And I wanted to carry on. I don't even remember fainting. Got back home, played, had a week off, rested up, went and played the Scottish Open, then the British Open. Came second there. The week after, I was playing at Centurion for the Golf in Saudi event, the Aramco Team Series event it was. I was walking through the car park. Well, they haven't finished the car park off properly, the parking lot, the drainage. I fell down one of the holes in it, snapped the ligament of my ankle, got told I'll be out for 9 weeks, turned it round in 4 weeks, and then won the first LPGA event back. So, it was pretty good. And then after that, where I fell, I've got a cyst in my spine now, which I always have to do my rehab exercises for. But I sound like I'm a walking mess, but I'm not actually. I'm actually feeling pretty good. But yeah, I've laid off the gym, and I actually had quite a good 2025. So yeah, now it's 2026, and hopefully none of them disasters happen again.
Jeez.
You are always very open with your rehab. If you're a great follow on Instagram, you always have, you're always in the gym. You're always doing something to better yourself. So what does a tournament week look like leading up to the first tournament of the season?
Well, I come out here a bit early. First of all, it's because I'm completely redoing my house up at home, like making it my dream home. And I was at home and I was just getting so stressed of everything, when everything's everywhere. So I was like, right, I need to get out early. 2, the weather's bad in the UK. So it's just raining loads. So I thought I'd get out here. And 3, like I do battle with like my back and stuff. So I thought I'd just give myself a little bit more extra time to like just acclimatize and get into the weather. It's the first event back of the year. Obviously I have high expectations, but I only finished like the week and a half before Christmas. So it's been a very short off season for me, but I quite like that because I like to play. I don't really like to have too much of an off season, but I like to have a lot of weeks off in the year, if you know what I mean? So I keep fresh. But yeah, this week is just going out, just figure out what my game's out. I've done a lot of swing changes with my golf swing, obviously, because it gets out easier because I was battling with my ligament, the torn ligament in my ankle and obviously the cyst in my spine. So just been working on some things at home that flattening my swing out a little bit, if you know what I mean, on my backswing. Yeah. So yeah, I've worked on it hard and just thought I'll come out here, do a bit of early practice and just see how the week goes.
So will you hit the gym at all while you're there? What is tournament week look like?
I'm not really allowed to hit the gym at the minute. I started back running over Christmas, but I didn't want to burn myself out too much because I've got golf now to play, if you know what I mean, with my back. So I just want to kind of, just slowly get into it and be injury-free for a little while. But I'm doing all my rehab stuff. I'm doing reformer Pilates, which is really good for my back. So yeah, I've been doing that a bit.
I have a feeling you might not be the world's best patient when it comes to having to sit around and take care of yourself.
No, I'm not. I get so bored. I get so bored easily. But hopefully, sorry, turn the aircon down. Hopefully I can just learn to chill sometimes, which I have taught, understood how to chill more because I find it very, very hard switching off from everything. I think because from a young age, I played golf from the age I was 2. So I've always worked pretty much every day of my life. But I don't see it as work. Do you know what I mean? But it's not like when I'm at home, it's not like, if you don't go work, you don't get paid that day. Well, no, I've got to go work because I've got to work when I'm not getting paid, if that makes any sense, because I want my game to be sharp for when I turn up to a tournament. But I love golf, so I don't really see it as a job. And I just love being out in the fresh air, in the, over the fields, do you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe. So golf's perfect for that.
Man, I think, and 2 fans and us, we're excited to hear that you're healthy. I know you probably miss your gym time and are jumping at the bit to get back. You've said multiple times that physical training for you is not about golf, and it's a lot more for your mental health and just general health. What you've mentioned a lot about how it helps your mental health. I'm curious, What impact has tour life, which we're talking over a decade now for you, what impact has tour life had on your mental health? You've talked about you've been playing since you were 2 years old, but professional golf, how has that directly impacted how you approach your own mental health given the grind of the season?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm one of these people, like, I love being in America. I love America, but I could not live anywhere but England. Like, I love being at home. I love being around my friends and my family. And I like to be feeling settled, if you know what I mean. I like to be in one place and just doing all my things. So taking me out of that environment and always having to travel, it kind of does take its toll on me, but I would never criticize it because I love playing golf and it's better than, no offense, working a 9 to 5, because I think a 9 to 5 would do my head in because I always have to be doing something. But it is hard. It is very, very hard traveling. Like, people think it's a glamorous lifestyle and it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're basically living on a plane, but it is fun though. Once you're playing in like the final round of the US Open, you know, you've got a chance to win it. That's great. It's a great feeling. It's all worth it.
Absolutely. We've actually gone over the rigorous travel schedule of last season and looked at the improvements they made this season, and hopefully you'll be able to, get a little bit more time off. I know you said you want to take time off mid-season.
Yeah, because I only played 15 events last year.
Wow.
And I only usually maximum play 18 events in a season anyway. I don't play a lot. I don't like playing a lot. Because when I was younger, I used to play a lot. And I used to I don't do more than 2 weeks away from home maximum. Because I end up getting, unless it's in Europe, because I end up getting like bored on the golf course, like just getting homesick. And then it hasn't got my full attention, if you know what I mean. So if I know I'm only going away for 2 weeks, I put my all in it and then I don't get as homesick. But yeah, that's the way I do it. And people think, oh, that's not a lot of events, 18 events, rah. But at the end of the day, it's enough for me to go up there and perform. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
Why play 30 events and then you're only playing half of them half-heartedly? Do you know what I mean? You might as well just play half of them and play them full-heartedly.
No, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this year's majors, are there any specific courses that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to playing Riviera, and I'm looking forward to playing Royal Lytham as well. They're like my two favourite majors, the US Open and the Women's British Open. So, I look forward to them. And I like playing the Scottish Open as well the week before. I wish there was more of like a British kind of swing. I played the Irish Open last year and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I wish there was like an English Open. That'd be fun.
Have you played both Riviera and Royal Lytham?
Not played Riviera, but I have played Royal Lytham. I played Royal Lytham 2007 Pro-Am there, British Women's Open Pro-Am, and I played with Morgan Pressel back when I was 9 years old. So it was 2005. Sorry, 2005 it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Good company.
I'm very fired up.
Yeah.
I like the rotation this year between Riviera, Hazeltine, Royal Lytham, and the move of the Chevron to Memorial Park.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good year for women's majors for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be fun. I like majors. They're good fun. And I feel like golf as well, you got to go out there and enjoy it. You got one life, so might as well just go out there and enjoy it as well. Even when you're not playing the best, even is you're gonna get down out there, but you got to think, God, this is my job. Like, you just enjoy it because this is a brilliant job to have.
Well said.
So that's
Absolutely.
an interesting segue, Charlie. We mentioned in our very first episode, we did a player deep dive on you of just kind of explaining to the fans your on and off the course statistics and just the things you're interested in. And we were looking back at it when we released it. It was August 2nd, and at that date, you were ranked 20th in the world.
Yeah.
You now find yourself the 5th ranked player in the world. What do you attribute that back half of the season improvements? Was there certain parts of your game or all around?
Well, no, I played pretty solid all last year. Like, I was pretty much inside the top 20 the whole time. And then maybe because, you know what, when I did my ankle, it actually was a bit of a blessing because sometimes I put too much pressure on golf. Like, I get too golf obsessed. So when I'm not really thinking about golf and I've got something else going on, I play better golf, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, it's amazing. Like, when I won my first LPGA tour event, I was 16 years old. I was playing well going into it. And I never forget, 2 weeks before I was in Japan, I landed back and I was away for like 5 weeks. miss all my friends and stuff. We went out on Wednesday drinking, we went out on Thursday drinking, we went out on Friday drinking, we went out on Saturday drinking, until Sunday. When I come in, my dad was like, "This is disgraceful. I can't believe you've done this. You're going to miss the putt next week, blah, blah, blah. It's the biggest event of the year apart from a major." I was like, "Yeah, well, whatever, Dad. I'm 19 years old or whatever. I'm having fun. Like, I'm a child, whatever." I go out there and I win it by like 2 or 3 shots. But because like, and then my dad was like, "Wow, we can never say anything to you again." And, like, I don't drink anymore. Like, I haven't drank now since I was like 20. Like, because of the drinking ages in the UK are different. Do you know what I mean? You drink when you're younger, it's legal. But anyway, like, I got that out of my system when I was younger. And then I kind of like had a few years where I just got too golf obsessed, and I still do it. Like, I'll, like, say for instance, I'm going to go and hit 100 golf balls. I'll go and hit like 300 golf balls, and I still don't think that's enough. So it's kind of like just trying to find the happy medium, if you know what I mean. It's when I don't expect to put too much pressure on myself sometimes and just let it happen. It's way better. A bit like when I come back after my school, I didn't expect anything, and I went on my first LPGA tour event back.
We've mentioned it. You've been on tour since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
How have you seen the LPGA evolve during your time on tour?
Yeah, it's definitely going the right way. Like, I feel like just the prize funds have got a lot better, especially in the majors. And just like the whole social media for it is good. I think they do a good job of that, and it makes it more appealing than for everyone to watch. And I think it's important that they show people's personalities on the tour, if you know what I mean. Because obviously we don't hit it as far as the guys, but it's more relatable probably for the average golfer, because we're not bombing it, but still we can create shots and get it round. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the only difference, right? I mean, you're using every club in your bag, and that's infinitely more fun to watch.
People always say to me, the girls should be paid as much as the guys. The girls should be paid as much as the guys. Listen, I understand why people say that, but from a sponsor's from a sponsor's point of view, they want to sponsor the events that people watch the most. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important to grow the LPGA tour and make it more appealing for everyone, because then that's the only way we're going to get the prize funds up. So that's why you want to show these personalities off. Like, you want to be able to take your kids to the golf course and watch them play, and then the players interact with the crowd and stuff, because that makes it way more enjoyable for everyone. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, watching the LPGA, watching the International Crown last season, the amount of fun all the golfers were having, it's infectious. You want to watch it again and again because they're all having fun with each other. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're engaging with the fans. You don't really see that as much on the PGA, at least from what I've seen. So no, it is appreciated. It's definitely noticed on our end. I got a question for you. So when you go to different stops around the country, are there specific food stops that you make sure that you go to?
Yeah, like the Mexican restaurants in the UK are not very good. Like, they're not proper Mexican. So when I get back to America, I just go straight to, like, they have good Mexican restaurants here, and I go and fill my boots in with Mexicans, and I like Raising Cane's as well. But I'm a very, very healthy eater. I like True Foods when I go to Texas, and I like Texas barbecue. But yeah, I do like the variety of food that you have here in America. It's pretty cool.
Oh, we got to get another LPGA event in San Diego to get you some tacos out here.
I know. I used to have a good taco spot in San Diego when we used to play there, but they stopped the event. So it's pretty good because we used to drive. We used to drive then from there to it used to be called, the Craft Bisco. Well, it's the Chevron now, but it used to be the Craft Bisco in Palm Springs. So then we used to drive from San Diego over. So that week I'd fill myself up on Mexican, and then on the drive over there was an In-N-Out burger. Then on a Sunday I would stop at In-N-Out burger and then do the rest of the drive over to San Diego. But yeah, that was good times.
That was my next question. I want to know the guilty pleasure meals. You are obviously very, very healthy. Is there anything else that hits the list of just, it's off season, you don't care what you're eating, whether you're home or on the road, what's a guilty pleasure?
I hardly ever pig out on food. I actually prefer eating healthy. Like, I feel I feel awful when I don't eat healthy. So I like to I feel happy when I eat healthy. Like, I actually prefer the taste of healthy food. But if I was to have a naughty treat when I'm at home, it's not that naughty, but I like a cheese and ham toasty.
Okay, that's it. I mean,
yeah, like,
I consider that healthy, which is maybe healthy.
But like, listen, I have everything in moderation as well. Like my favorite thing to cook is like I get so excited when it gets about 5 o'clock in the evening at home. I get my air fryer on, do my like homemade. I make my salmon with pesto on top of it. Make myself some sweet potato cubes and like some broccoli and stuff. And I get so excited to eat that because I love the taste of it. And I like making bread, this healthy bread, and making soups as well. So yeah, I love cooking. I really.
Where do you
love
find the time for this?
my hobbies, like I love cooking and cleaning. Like I love cleaning. Like cleaning is one of my favorite things to do. Like the night before the British Open, I was in an apartment with my boyfriend and my trainer, Kate. And it was like 11 o'clock the night before the British Open, and I was cleaning the apartment. And Kate's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just wanted to do something that I enjoy. I just love cleaning.
Charley, cleaning is my favorite thing. I'm as OCD as it gets. I got to know.
Me too.
What is the most satisfying cleaning task you do? What's the thing that makes you feel so good after you've done it?
Well, I like the Spanish cleaning products, but I love it when like, say like I'll wipe down all like the tops in the kitchen, and then like I will then get my brush out, put all if the floor's there into a pile. Then I will hoover, and then I will use this like I like using a little concoction of like a bit of Savora with some water, spraying it on the floor, and it smells so good. And then I love doing my washing, like my clothes washing, and I like putting all like because I've got some nice smelly stuff for it, and then I put it on my drying racks, and it just smells the house out so good.
Cooking and cleaning. It's no wonder you're our favorite golfer.
No kidding. No,
right
she's
up
the
our
cook.
alley.
I'm the cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get you out of here on this question, Charley. My wife would kill me if I didn't ask. I know you're a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, I love Doctor Who.
Who's your favorite Doctor of all time?
I like David Tennant.
My wife too. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I like David Tennant.
Charley, you have been an absolute delight. We know you've got a ton of commitments today. We hope you get your back to your next nap here. Thank you so much for making time for us. And more than anything, stay healthy this year. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we see you at a couple tournaments this year.
All right. Cheers, guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you so
Charley.
much.